Alright guys, in this video we need to take some time to talk about the way Sony is choosing to handle the different editions when it comes to Horizon Forbidden West, and we're focusing more specifically on how Sony has for some reason decided that they're not going to offer an upgrade path. They're only going to offer a digital deluxe edition of Horizon Forbidden West for $80 that will offer dual entitlement. That's what they're calling it. And on top of that, people are feeling frustrated that the very expensive collector's editions of Horizon Forbidden West are not coming with a disc version of the game for some reason. But the worst and possibly most egregious aspect of all of this that we're going to be covering is how Jim Ryan was once again caught in a lie. And this is where I have to draw the line as a PlayStation fan, as a gamer, as a consumer. This is where there are some things that I understand Sony is going to try to, I don't want to say get away with, but I really don't know how else to word it. They're going to try to push the envelope and see what we as PlayStation fans and consumers are okay with and what we are not okay with. Now, when it comes to something like, Death Stranding Director's Cut, although I don't think that's necessarily Sony's decision. I think that's Kojima Productions' decision to charge $10. I think that's totally fair, totally reasonable. And then you look at what they did with Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. It was a little bit more controversial, but, they're giving you an entire new expansion, a new island to explore, and they want $10 for the native PS5 port and upgrade. And it's like, yeah, I can understand why some people are not going to be okay with that and they're not going to want that. But realistically speaking, as somebody who wants to gain access to that, it's like, fine, I'll pay the $10. It is what it is. But this is where we see Sony taking it a step further. And I don't like this. I don't like this because it's becoming clear that Sony is going to continue to push this pretty much as far as it can go. Like, they're willing to take it to the edge. And in this case, what we're seeing with the way they're handling Horizon Forbidden West, they're clearly ready to just let it fall off the cliff, and I don't like this because this isn't the message that I want to send to PlayStation, to Sony. I don't want them to think that you can just do anything and get away with anything. You can tell me a year ago, or roughly a year ago, that, yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, it's going to be coming to PS4, but there's no reason to be disappointed because we're going to offer a free upgrade path for those who buy the game for PS4 so you can upgrade to PS5, to then turn around and not only just go back on your word and not offer anything for free, but you're not even going to offer an upgrade path. You're just going to ask your fan base to pay $80 for a digital deluxe edition for what you're calling dual entitlement. This is absolutely ridiculous, and I am not going to defend this. And I understand that there are some PlayStation fans who want to, I don't want to say defend this, because I don't think anybody's actually defending this, but there are some PlayStation fans who I will say are downplaying this. And I want you to understand that this is a situation where you have to call it out if you have the opportunity to do so. And it is in your and my best interest to call this out, because if we do not, and we essentially attempt to send a signal to Sony that this is perfectly okay, they're going to not only keep doing this, but as I said, they're going to push it further. We have to, as the consumer, as the player, draw the line and make it known to Sony, like, look, you want to charge me $10 for an upgrade? Fine, because you're going to justify it by saying, well, it's the PS5 version. We put the extra work into it, with the DualSense controller, with the 3D audio, and, all the other stuff that goes along with it. Fine. But in my opinion, that's where we draw the line. Now you want to just turn around and lie. This is unacceptable. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I do apologize. I'm almost 5 minutes into this video and I haven't even explained the situation, but I feel as though most of you already have a very good idea of what's going on here. But essentially what you need to know is that there are a bunch of different editions for both PS4 and PS5 for Horizon Forbidden West. And what Sony has decided to do is go back on their word. At one point, Jim Ryan literally said that they would offer a free upgrade path for PS5 players or PS4 players to upgrade to the PS5 version. And this was kind of a big deal because he was saying this at a time when PlayStation fans and gamers were finding out, oh, wait a second, Horizon Forbidden West isn't going to be a PS5 exclusive. And this was, I believe, Sony's way of kind of mitigating the potential backlash that they could have received in that moment, because they were already under scrutiny, because it's like, you said you believe in generations, now we're finding out some of your biggest games are actually going to be cross-gen. You made it sound like you were against cross-gen or whatever. And I think that people were more accepting of that situation and just kind of got over the whole we believe in generations thing, because the whole situation where Sony and Microsoft are struggling to be able to produce enough consoles. So it's like, okay, if these games can run on PS4, it's kind of understandable why you would, choose to do that, right? But with that being said, we are now in a situation where Sony is saying, look, if you are a PlayStation 4 owner and you are a PlayStation 4 player, and you either chose not to try to get a PS5, or you're like millions of other people where you want a PS5, but you literally can't find one. You're ready to give Sony your money to upgrade to the new console, but you just can't, because they just can't be found. They're extremely difficult to come by. What Sony is effectively telling you is that when Horizon Forbidden West launches in February of 2022, if you're on PS4, you have two options. Well, you have three options. You could just not buy the game and just wait until you get a PS5 and then buy the PS5 version for $70. Okay. The other option is you can buy the PS4 version and that's it. There's going to be no real way to upgrade to the PS5 version. So effectively what you would have to do is buy the PS4 version for $60. And then you would have to seemingly buy the PS5 version for $70 by itself if you do upgrade to the PS5 and you decide you want that PS5 version. Or the third option is you can pay $80, not $70, $80 for the digital deluxe edition, which will, as they say, and I have to reiterate, they say you'll get dual entitlement for a PS4 version and a PS5 version. And this to me is completely unacceptable on every level, because I understand there are going to be some people who are like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. They just want $80. You're paying $40 for each version. It is a big deal. Okay. Even if you're somebody who says, look, the $80, it's not that big of a deal to me. I don't mind spending it. You need to understand, Jim Ryan literally lied. Okay, this is where I'm not going to defend this, and I'm absolutely going to call this out, because if Jim Ryan and Sony and the people who are, making these decisions think that they can just talk to their fan base this way and just literally turn around and do the opposite, no, that's not going to happen, and I'm not going to just be okay with that. So anyway, I want to read the quote to you so you can know exactly what Jim Ryan said in the context he said it in and how he said it. So it says, speaking with MCV last September, so it was about a year ago, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan said regarding Horizon Forbidden West's PS4 announcement, quote, "No one should be disappointed. The PS5 versions of those games are built from the ground up to take advantage of the PS5 feature set, and we have an upgrade path for PS4 users to get the PS5 versions for free. It's about people having choice. I'm really quite pleased about the situation," unquote. That's exactly what Jim Ryan said word for word this time last year. Now look at what's going on. This is why I'm saying to even the most die-hard PlayStation fans, the most loyal PlayStation fans, you cannot take this lying down. You cannot just turn your back and say, not a big deal. I'm not saying you have to throw a fit. In fact, that doesn't actually help anything. We need to give Sony our constructive criticism and our constructive feedback, even in a situation like this, where this, in my opinion, is straight up egregious. I say it's egregious because this is Sony blatantly lying to their fans, turning around and doing not only the exact opposite of what they said they would do, but taking it a step further. The reason why I say that is because at the very least, and I am not saying this would be okay, but at the very least, you would think that if Jim Ryan and Sony decide to say, you know what, actually, we don't want to give this out for free, you would think that maybe they would say to PS4 players, look, if you buy Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 and you end up upgrading to a PS5 and you want the PS5 version, just pay $10 and we'll give you the PS5 version. At the very least, they could at least fall back on the logic of, well, we're charging PlayStation 5 owners $70 for the PS5 version of Horizon Forbidden West, so that's why we're going to charge you the $10. At least then, it still wouldn't make it okay because they just still lied. But it's not, again, it's not as bad, right? It's like if you're going to do this, if you're going to straight up lie to your fan base, turn around to do the opposite, can you at least try to frame it in a way where you can attempt to make some sense of it? Well, it's like, well, you know, it's only fair. We charge the PS5 owners $70, so, you know, you got to pay that extra $10 for the PS5 upgrade. It's like, whatever. You know, I feel like a lot of people will be like, dude, this sucks. You lied. What's wrong with you? Whatever, you know, fine. And people would still let Sony know, like, it isn't okay. But this is just, I mean, you got to be kidding me. Who there at Sony is just like, yeah, this is okay. You know what makes it even worse? And I really hope Sony does respond to this, because I will tell you, I am going to be genuinely, thoroughly disappointed in Sony and their leadership if they do not respond to this. And I understand that we have an event coming next week, and you guys already know how I feel about that. I'm not letting this get in the way of my excitement for new game announcements and reveals, but at the same time, I'm not going to allow Sony to try to get away with this by being like, guys, don't pay attention to what we're doing right now. Don't pay attention to the fact that we blatantly lied to you. Just be excited for the event. No. That's not going to work. I'm going to be excited for your event, but I'm also going to take time to call you out on your blatant lie and the way you're misleading and the way you're treating your fan base and your customers, because it's not fair and it's not right. And so, you know, I see Herman Holst on Twitter. He shares a photo of the collector's edition of Horizon Forbidden West, where he shows the Tremor Tusk, I think is what it's called, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, he's like showing it off, and it just comes off as completely tone deaf, because if you go into his replies, all you see are PlayStation fans and gamers basically saying, you know, Mr. Holst, can you please acknowledge your fan base and communicate with your fan base and make it, you know, like, acknowledge that you see the problem. Don't just blatantly ignore it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable because it tells you one thing and one thing only. And especially when you see somebody like Herman Holst out here tweeting as if nothing's even happening and, you know, like, oh, it's not a big deal. This tells you one thing, that is Sony simply doesn't care what the fan base actually thinks, because the only thing they care about is the bottom line. And I'm not ignorant to this. I've known this. But again, there are certain lines where it's like, I don't expect Sony to cross this line. The line where they're like, hey, we want to charge you $10 for the PS5 upgrade. All right, whatever. You know, like, I get you're going to do that because you can get away with it. We all know you can get away with it. You know, maybe fans will give them a little slap on the wrist, but they'll still pay their $10 and get their upgrade and play the game, you know. But when you're doing stuff like this, like, no. And I hate to have to end the video this way. I really do. But the unfortunate reality of this situation is that I don't know that Sony's going to do anything. And the reason why I don't know that they're going to do anything, and I actually think they're not going to do anything, is because the only way we can truly send a message is not with my video here. Like, I like to think my video helps, and, you know, responding to Herman Holst politely and respectfully by letting him know, hey, you know, Mr. Holst, PlayStation, Jim Ryan, anybody you can get a hold of. I don't think you can get a hold of Jim Ryan in any way, but, you know, just trying to communicate to the brand and the people in charge of it. We're not happy with this. We don't like this, and we flat out think this is wrong, and we think you should address this. You know, unless we kind of speak with our wallets and make it known to Sony that, like, we're not just gonna give you our money for this, where, you know, unless they see like a dent in their pre-order numbers or something financially, I don't think they're going to do anything. And that's what's frustrating about this situation, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm not going to play Horizon Forbidden West. You know I am. I'm going to buy a PlayStation 5 copy of Horizon Forbidden West. But I will be honest with you right now. If I was not a content creator and I was on PS4, seeing what Sony's doing here, I do not think I would buy the game for PS4. And that's actually my recommendation. Like, I would honestly try really hard to get a PS5 before the game comes out or around the time the game comes out and just buy the PS5 version. I know that it's like, well, is it that big of a deal? You're just saving $10. In this case, it is, because it truly is about the principle. It's about making it known to Sony that you're not just gonna blatantly buy or pre-order, especially pre-order the $80 version and basically support a lie and basically send the message to Sony that this is perfectly fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep going back on your word. At the very least, if this is the type of stuff that Sony wants to do, and this is the final thing I'm going to say, if this is the type of stuff that Sony wants to do, that Jim Ryan says this is how we're going to handle it going forward so we can extract as much money out of our fan base as possible, if that's the way you want to handle it, can you at the very least, and I don't think this is asking for much at all, can you at the very least be consistent with your messaging and just make it clear what you plan to do? Make it known that we just want more money from you and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're just making it clear we want more money from you. Can you not lie to us and, try to damage control by saying, oh, don't worry about Horizon being on PS4. We're going to have a free upgrade path, to then just basically slap your customers in the face, your PS4 customers, that is, by saying, actually, never mind, pay an extra $20 for your dual entitlement. Yeah, can we just be consistent? As you can tell, I'm very much annoyed by this because I didn't think it would go this way. I didn't think that if I just said, hey, I'm not going to throw a fit about paying $10 for an upgrade to PS5, because I don't think it's that big of a deal. But it does become a big deal when we do that, and then this is the next thing that happens. Yeah, no, Sony, get it together, okay? I want to say one last thing here too, because I'm just going on a full-blown tangent. And I thank everybody who's been listening for this long. I want to say I am very annoyed that Sony, or at least whoever is making these decisions financially, like this is how we're going to handle it, I am incredibly irritated that they are allowing something like this to get in the way of the genuine excitement and hype that should be, like, our focus should not be on this right now, is what I'm trying to say. Our focus should be squarely on the upcoming event and the new game announcements. And that's what bothers me as well, on top of the fact that this is just wrong, but that they're just like, yeah, we don't care, and it's almost like they give off this kind of vibe where it's like, yeah, we know you guys are just going to get totally consumed by the event next week, and this is just going to be, swept under the rug, so no worries. I don't like that. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't just let a good thing be good. You have to find a way to try to, strong arm or like kind of sneak something in there. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want it to be known that no, you're not sneaking anything by me or anybody else for that matter. This is just wrong. Okay. And this is where, you look at the way Xbox has been handling things. Look, Sony knows they have the goods. We know Sony has the goods. They know that they can charge $70 for the goods on PS5, and a lot of people are going to be fine with that. But this is where it's like, you're pushing it. Like you've pushed it off the cliff, in my opinion, and you've taken it way too far this time. And I genuinely hope that Sony responds. So guys, if you are feeling the way like I am and you're just not happy about this and you want to see some change, or you at the very least hope that Sony will respond to this, because we need to look back to earlier this year with the closure of the PlayStation 3 store front and whatnot. So, we learned that Sony will respond if there's enough backlash. So like this video, share it out. If you see it on Twitter, retweet it. Let's get eyes on this. So again, like, this is in every PlayStation fan's best interest. We need to do this so that way we can potentially reverse this and make it known to Sony, we don't accept this. You're not going to push it this far. We're not just going to take it. So anyway, guys, that does it for the video. Again, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.